Welcome to I Wrote This News. Today is January 29, 2022. Here's what you need to know. Story number 1, Ain't She a Beautiful Sight? A. Canadian truckers who oppose the government's vaccination mandate have begun to arrive in Ottawa, the nation's capital, for a protest outside of Parliament on Saturday. As of a week ago, Canadian truckers are now required to be vaccinated before they can enter the United States. In the biggest act of civil disobedience that Canadians could think of, participants got in their trucks and all drove the same direction at the same time. The quote, Freedom Convoy is traveling from the western, eastern and southern ends of the country to Ottawa. Famed Canadian activist and Hair Club for Men poster boy Elon Musk praised the anti-mandate convoy in a tweet expounding Canadian truckers' rule. Musk has said he would not get vaccinated for COVID-19 on the grounds he and his family were not at risk. The Canadian protest was also praised by anti-mandate Americans, many of whom seem to have forgotten that they were demanding that people attempting to immigrate via the Mexican border be vaccinated as well. Story number 2, Joni Mitchell says she's done seeing both sides now, has a big yellow taxi full of Spotify remover and swears she will use it. In what is shaping up to be a possible tsunami of 1960s musical troublemakers taking a shot at the man, Joni Mitchell said Friday that she would remove her music from Spotify, joining Neil Young in protesting the streaming service over its role in giving a platform to COVID-19 vaccine misinformation. Mitchell, an esteemed singer-songwriter of songs like Big Yellow Taxi, and whose landmark album Blue just had its 50th anniversary, posted a brief statement on her website Friday saying that she would remove her music from the streaming service, saying, "Irresponsible people are spreading lies that are costing people their lives." Spotify said hey, bye-bye to Young's music on Wednesday, 2 days after he posted an open letter calling for its removal as a protest against the Joe Rogan Experience, which has been criticized for spreading misinformation about the coronavirus and vaccines. Story number 3, former Italian royalty seeks to hold on to the family jewels with both hands. The grandson of former King Umberto II, Emmanuel Filiberto, sort of like the nut of the House of Savoy, like the place where people are always stomping, represented the family at a mediation session earlier this week, where he asked the bank to return the crown jewels, said the family's lawyer Sergio Orlandi, like the Florida towns that are home to Disney World. The Prime Minister's office and the Ministry of Economy and Finances have noted that according to Provision 13 of the Italian Constitution, which imposed the confiscation of the royal family's assets, the jewels and all other properties of the ex-royal family belong to the state. Umberto II became king after his father abdicated and held the throne for just 34 days before being exiled after Italy voted to cleanse its collective palate of Mussolini at the end of World War II. Story number 4, Berlusconi flirts, but oddly this time it's with responsible behavior. The man who single-handedly caused the entire country of Italy to sympathize with the United States during the Trump years has thrown in the towel on his drive to become that country's president. In a widely anticipated withdrawal statement, media tycoon and recipient of the Lifetime Achievement Award from the International Manufacturers of Pancake Makeup, Silvio Berlusconi, insisted he had enough support to win the election to Italy's highest office. But the four-time former prime minister, who lives by the motto that one good bunga always deserves another, and who was convicted of tax fraud in October 2012, said he had decided to pull his name from consideration so lawmakers from across the political spectrum can choose a less divisive candidate. Berlusconi's tenure in office was tarnished by sex scandals and alleged corruption, undermining his quixotic quest to promote himself as a unifying national father figure. Quote, "I have decided to take another step along the path of national responsibility," Berlusconi wrote on Facebook, the go-to social media platform for aging white men. When asked about rumors that he was getting back together with his ex-wife, actress Miriam Raffaella Bartolini, Berlusconi explained, "It's not possible. I am not old enough to be her grandfather." Now it's time for On This Date in History. On this date in 1861, Kansas is admitted as the 34th U.S. state. On this date in 1886, Carl Benz patents the first successful gasoline-driven automobile, kicking off the start of the famed car company, Mercedes Carl. On this date in 1907, Charles Curtis of Kansas becomes the first Native American U.S. Senator. On this date in 1980, the Rubik's Cube makes its international debut at the Ideal Toy Corporation in Earl's Court, London. Celebrating birthdays today are actors Catherine Ross, Tom Selleck, Ann Jillian, Edward Burns and Heather Graham, talk show superstar Oprah Winfrey, Olympic diver Greg Louganis, politician Paul Ryan, and golfer Jack Burke Jr., who is turning 93. Happy birthday to all of them, and if your birthday is today, a very happy birthday to you as well. By the way, if you or someone you know is having a birthday and would like us to announce it on the show, leave us a voice message or send an email. The links are in the show notes. Today's news was brought to us by the New York Times, U.S. News & World Report, CNN, the Financial Times, and the website that will stick by you like a golden retriever, Wikipedia. If you have a comment or a question about anything you've heard today, or if you have a suggestion, please send us a note at IWTN, all one word, at thatradioshow.com. That email address one more time is IWTN, all one word, at thatradioshow.com.
One more thing, if this podcast sounds a little funny, that's because it's also an experiment. All of the vocals were generated using AI technology. Hopefully the show will sound different and better as the tech improves and as we improve at using it. I'm Bob Neese, hoping you have an amazing day. We'll get together again soon.